What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. Today we are working on my 2004 F350. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys out there who watched the Golden Surprise video, who have commented, who have shared. Thank you to all my new subscribers who've also done the same thing, because I mean it's awesome. You guys actually, all that kind of stuff right there definitely motivates me to keep going, keep pushing. I want to do bigger giveaways, I want to do more for you guys out there, because without you doing what you do, then this channel wouldn't grow. So thank you guys. As a matter of fact, we're going to get into the drawing at the end of this video to see who actually won that. So thank you guys for all of you who have participated. If you are new or just stumbled across the video and are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for me. Don't forget that ring that little bell for notifications on upcoming videos. And that's actually going to bring us into what's going on today. I am going to look at a new project for the channel, and I came out here this morning to fire up this girl right here because, well, I need to go hook up to the trailer, and well, it wouldn't start. And this is not a planned video. I did not intend to do any of this, but I go to pop the hood because I just kind of want to figure out, maybe shoot some starting fluid down the throat of this thing, because it is very, very cold. But it does have a block heater, right? Just for whatever reason, it wasn't going to fire up. So pop the hood, and this is what I ran into. Some little critter decided to make a home for themselves underneath the turbo there, up inside that valley. As a matter of fact, all this was packed off with branches, leaves, wrapping paper for presents. You can see it's on the ground. I've been throwing it out. It also went ahead and chewed up my vacuum line from our map sensor there to there, so I need to replace that. Chewed the wires off our wastegate or our boost control solenoid there. I need to go to the auto parts store or find something to fix this for the time being. Need to replace this solenoid because, for those of you that don't know or are wondering, this is supposed to be longer, and it's supposed to have another vacuum port here. So that's gone. Kind of makes me want to, well, it must have tasted really good to whoever or whatever was eating that thing. There's our wires to our relays right there. Those are all chewed up. Need to get fittings on that. And I still need to get down in there, so you can see, and dig out all the leaves and what's left of the wrapping paper out from underneath that turbo, because the last thing I want to do is burn this thing down to the ground. It's a really good truck. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back up in there, get everything dug out from underneath the intake manifold, make sure I do not need to purchase anything else. Head on down to the auto parts store, pick up the parts I need for this and a couple other parts for another upcoming products, which was actually what I wanted to start on today, but this happened. So, we'll get the parts for this. I'll get the parts for an upcoming project as well. So yeah, I'm gonna dig all that stuff out of there and see what I need. Go get it. So I'll be right back. Good morning. It is the next day. I went out yesterday. Drove around for quite some time, actually. Hit every auto parts store along the roads, anyone I could find, and believe it or not, you can't find this part at an auto parts store. You ask them why. It's because it's either A, discontinued, or B, it's too old. Which I find hilarious, because I can still buy parts for my 87 pickup over there. So I'm going to go with discontinued. They just stopped making it, or for whatever reason. You can still buy these parts. As a matter of fact, I did order a new solenoid here and a new pigtail, but they won't be here for a couple days. And you can find them on eBay, Amazon, a bunch of other shops. Just type in boost control solenoid, wastegate control solenoid for my F350 here. So, like I said, I did order it. They're not going to be in for a few days, but this is a 3-port, so one port's plugged, you see here. This port's still there, and it's missing the one that's supposed to be here, And this is the vent one that goes back to the intake, which here, let me show you. It's that green one there, and it vents right back into the intake tube, right in the front of the turbo. So I got to thinking about it. It's just a 3-port boost control solenoid, and I need my truck, so I am going to wire in my old Mac valve off the old boost controller setup I had on the Mustang. 3 ports, got this one plugged off, this one in, this one out. So red on one side, green on the other, and it should work out just fine. I've already tested this, so when I blow into it, it doesn't let anything by, but the second it gets power, it opens up and then it'll vent out just like the factory one did. So this is going to work out. I am going to wire this up like it's never coming out, because even though I did order these parts, if it works, I'm not going to change it until it fails or something. So I brought down a couple of connectors and stuff like that. I've already went ahead and added the weather pack, or that connector to that end of the harness. As you can see, I got the other wires fixed and reattached to the relays. Got the new hose to our map sensor plugged into the intake as well. So now I need to install the plug and wire this end up, and that we're going to go over. Put you guys here in the stand here. There we go. So here's our wires. Show you what we got there. Went ahead and just cut them off flush. Go ahead and stick the end in my little wire strippers here, and you only want about 1/8 of an inch to 3/16. You don't need a whole lot sticking out of the end there. So got those ends stripped. Now if you're wondering which end or which is power or ground or whatever, it's a solenoid. It works by putting power to either side, so you put positive to one side. You see here, what if you can hear it click? No, it's a little dim, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you got 12 volt on one side and ground on the other, it will function. So no need to worry about that. Fix this a little bit more. There we go. So again, there's all I stripped off the end of the wires. Now I'm going to grab my little connectors here real quick. Alright, so here's our wires. I'm going to start off by taking these little guys. Let's see here. It's cold outside. It's hard for me to grab a hold of anything, but little O-rings. Slide that on the wire. Twist. Make sure you got your little wires twisted together. Go ahead and stick it over the wire and just pull it down. Make sure it doesn't pull any wires, but there we go. Just kind of slide that out of the way here. These are really cool connectors. I like them. They're cheap. Buy them on eBay, Amazon. I'm going to try to remember to put a link to these, and I recommend, if you haven't bought any of these before, or you're just seeing these, buy the kit that includes the crimpers. You will not regret it. You can do it without the crimpers. It's just a pain, but I like them because it gets a nice good crimp, bites a hold of the wire and the sheath of the wire itself. So all right, there's what those guys look like for right now. Now we're gonna buy, this is the end I'll be putting on this plug here. Goes up inside. You don't need to put that on just yet, but there are 2 types of prongs or terminals that you need to these plugs. So there's this style here, and there's the opposite end with the lock on it. You can see they clip together. This end here, which is the one that is on our harness down there, whoops, gets this style terminal. I don't know if you can see it. It's real blurry. It's kind of squared. It's got the little opening in there, and that accepts this style terminal here. So they plug in together like that. So make sure when you're doing these plugs, you get the right ends. You can put whatever end on you want on either side. That's up to you. I like the locking end on the harness and the receiving end on what the accessory or the component or whatever. So that's the one we're using, this guy here, and it's going to receive that male end of our terminals. Now here's what's cool. Going to go ahead and grab our little pliers here. Whew. Go ahead and install it real quick and then show you guys before I crimp. So, I don't know if you can see it, but it sits just flush inside that guy. It's kind of like a really small version of spark plug terminal wires. Goes in, wraps around, crimps the wire on this side. And on this side inside here, there's another set of smaller ones that bites down on the wire itself. So go ahead and crimp one of these real quick, and I'll show you what it looks like. We'll go ahead and put it in here, crimp it, pull it out. Like I said, I really like these kits, and they're not expensive at all. Plus, when you're done, it just makes it look professional. So here's our crimped end there. You can see how it crimped, bit down on the sheath of the wire here, just that first piece. And if I can get it to focus in, you can see how it wraps around and bites the wire itself just above right there. Nice solid crimp. So like I said, it looks really cool. I like it. You're not using the butt terminals. There's nothing wrong with the butt terminals or anything like that. I use a lot of them as well. Just I like to use these any chance I get. Bunch of squirrels running around this morning. I was actually worried to come out here and find one in the truck again. So I was out late trying to find these parts. It's crazy. Too old, they said. Truck's not too old. It's a 2000, right? How can that be old? I don't understand it. Get that guy up in there just like the other one. Nice, good, solid crimp. So now we got both our guys crimped on there. Go ahead. And here's another thing I like to do too, every once in a while. Not all the time, because I don't always remember, but I do like to do it every once in a while because it just looks cool. Grab some of this wire loom here. Right, now we can put our plug on the end of there and it'd be just fine. You'd have the little wires hanging out and stuff like that, but what I like to do, and I grabbed the wrong size, of course I did, so give me one sec. Alright, got the right piece, but basically I like to grab some of this kind of like expanded loom. Now this is a one piece, it's really cheap. Take your little loom here, or your wires, grab yourself a piece of heat shrink, throw that on first. The heat shrink is to actually hold our loom in place once we get the loom on. So get the heat shrink on there. Go ahead and toss our loom over our wires. You don't have to do this, right? This is just something I like doing, right? If you like doing it, let me know. Or let me know if you guys got another method or process of doing all of this, right? If you use heat shrink or the expanded loom. But get this inside our heat shrink here real quick. And I just like it. Like I said, it looks neat. You don't have to do anything like this. But like I said too, this is going to be kind of like a semi-temporary permanent fix. Because if it works, chances are I will not come out and fix it. So there's our little loom. There's our heat shrink. Grab my heat gun here. Warm up the heat shrink a little bit. That helps keep it all clamped into place. Helps keep the loom from fraying as well. So if you want to be careful with your heat gun on that loom, it's kind of like a nylon. It will, if you hold it in one place too long, it will kind of melt it and kind of make it fray out. So there's our one end, heat shrinked, held into place. Now we'll go ahead and grab our other piece of heat shrink there. Repeat the process. Tell you what, I don't know if I mentioned it, but this was not expected. Right? I came out hoping to fire up my truck, get ready, and well, find a squirrel's home in my truck. Poor little guy. Probably because of the block heater. All right, everything's warm. I'm assuming that's what happened. It was just warm in here. Needed a place to lay their little head. Decided to chew up some of my wiring too while they were in there. So, all right. Go ahead, put that there. I'm going to take our heat gun, heat it up, and I'll show you. Need this truck. If I didn't need it, I would wait for the parts to come in. But going to look at another project, like I said. I think it'd be really fun. Be a really fun, neat project. Really cheap too. You guys get on Marketplace, you can find someone's projects. They've been sitting for a while, years, minus engines or transmissions or stuff like that. So we got this one really, really cheap. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet. I'm gonna go pick it up. Make sure it is what it is. So that. All right. There's our loom right there. So you got our little expanded loom right there. Got the heat shrink on both ends holding it together. We'll go ahead and install our plug. And it's just like all the other ones. Or they've got the little tiny keepers on there. They are directional, so make sure you pay attention which way they go. Go ahead. Make sure I pay attention on which way they go. There we go. Pop it in. Here's a snap. Nope. It's not that way. There we go. Oh, good news. They won't let you put it in the wrong way. So that's good. Uh-oh. Well, come on. What is the deal? What did I do? Let's... there it goes. Got my little needle nose here, kind of help bring it into place. Nope, not that way either. There it goes. Boom. So once you get them snapped in, do a nice little pull on it. Make sure they don't pop out. Then you can use your fingers or little pick. Push these little O-rings up into place. I like it. Helps keep the moisture out and stuff. Really cool. Like I said, they're cheap. Get them on eBay, Amazon. All right, they got really nice, expensive ones too, but I haven't had a problem with these yet, which is why I keep using them. And just like everything else, until I have a problem with it, well, it's what I'm going to use. So there you go. O-rings are pushed up into place. Nice little tug on there. Nothing's coming apart. Now, once you get those guys snapped into place, there is a keeper. And just like the other end, they are specific on what they go. The one that goes on the other end there has these little guys on the outside. It helps hold the O-ring on the plug. I don't know if you can see that. Versus, let's see. So you can see the difference. This one goes for the male terminals. This one's on the female terminals. Make sure you get the right ones in. It won't let you put the wrong ones in, but just to make it easy on you, make sure you grab the right ones. And that just drops. There's only one way to put them on. Let's see. Go ahead and there we go. Get that into place. Plus, it helps center those little terminals up. You know, if you put them in there without it, they'll kind of spread apart. And if you're not paying attention, put it together, you'll bend them over. So, really kind of important. There you go. That one just snapped into place. And if you can see down inside there, our little red, it's kind of hard, I know, but it is in there. It locks them into place. There's our plug. Now all I'm going to do is go ahead. Cool thing, this little solenoid here actually came with its, this is the bracket it came with, and it bolts in the factory spot of this guy, so that's really cool. I don't got to go hunting for anything. But go ahead and get this bolted back up. Double check, make sure I got all the wires fixed. Plug in our hoses for our red and green hoses, our pressure and vent hoses to this guy as well. Again, double check, fire it up, make sure it runs. So go ahead and get you guys turned around in there so you can see where it's going, how I'm plugging it in, and then we'll fire it up. All right, fired up. Now, I forgot to plug the heater back in last night. So, it's a little cold. Matter of fact, I've had it run for a couple minutes. Oil temp's about 50, I think. Maybe a little over 50. Hopefully you can hear me. Oh yeah, there we go. So, 57 degrees. So I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit before I start giving it any throttle. But it's cool. We got the relays fixed. Hopefully that boost control solenoid works out the way I want. Like I said, I'm gonna let this thing warm up before I start giving it any fuel. I don't know, maybe me not plugging or forgetting to plug the block feeder in last night helped keep that little guy from coming back. So, but anyways, we'll let this thing warm up. We'll get my tools all cleaned up, put away. Here's what we'll show you. So here's the little pliers. Like I said, I'm gonna try to remember to put the link to that in the description. Definitely a really cool set. You see it has all the different sizes, goes from 1 wire all the way up to 6 different size kits, 100 piece, 200 piece, 780 piece. If you do a lot of the wiring or wiring outside, especially if you're gonna put lights on your stuff. Oh, AC keeps kicking on. But here's I'm gonna let this thing warm up, get my tools cleaned up. And then I'll give it a little bit of throttle and see how she acts. So, be right back. All right, truck is all warmed up. You can see it's nice and smooth now. Haven't run into any issues yet, no smoke or nothing. Took the air hose, blew all of the stuff out from underneath the turbo and underneath the intake. Oil temp, about 99 degrees. Give it a little throttle here. Revs up nice and smooth. Biggest test though is to get it out on the street there and drive it just to see if that little control solenoid will function like it's supposed to with the boost. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will. It's just a boost. It's just a control solenoid, so I shouldn't have a problem with it. It's nice to have my truck running. That way I can use it tomorrow. So I got all my tools put away. Now I'm gonna do what I wanted to do yesterday, which is to go get some parts, get another battery for another project I got coming up. I've been asked a lot about that truck right there, so I'm going to get some stuff for a future video. We're gonna get that thing fired up, running again. It hasn't run in almost 2 years, so we are gonna get it fired up. We're gonna get it running again. I'm gonna get some oil, get a battery for it, get it set up so we can get that thing fired up, and then crawl up underneath that truck and figure out what I need to do with the transmission. Or not the transmission, the transfer case. It does have a divorce transfer case. A little fishy on that. It used to be a long bed. My dad, because it was his truck when he was roughly in his 18 to 20, he turned it into a short bed, right? So I know where I get it from now because I turned that into a short bed. Anyways, the angle of the rear drive shaft is really drastic. And when I started working on the truck many years ago, the pinion was sheared off the factory rear end in it. And again, I lost the drive shaft I put in it. I'll get into that later on a future video, but we are going to get that transfer case moved forward, kind of make that drive shaft angle a little less drastic. So I'm going to take off, go get parts for that future video there. I am waiting for Delilah right now to get back, because some of you guys that have been with me for a little while know she's the one that does the drawings. So I got everybody's name who participated in my golden giveaway. All their names are wrapped up in that box over there. So when she gets back, we'll shake that up. We'll get her to pick the name out. So a little help from YouTube magic. We'll be back in a second to see who wins. And we're back. And you can see it's dark outside because I had to do a little bit more running around than I originally thought. So, anyways, we're back in the shop. Got Delilah. We got our wily Kyle Odie holding our 24 karat gold plated Ratchet. You ready to see who ready to pick the winner? Yep. All right. We got that little guy holding on to it. All the names who participated are in this box. Lila pointed out that I think our first giveaway we drew from a hat. Second giveaway was a Halloween bucket, a pumpkin. Right? Third one I think was an old shoe box. This one is the box from the new angle grinder I had to get because I blowed up the other one. So, but thank you everybody who participated, who shared and commented. Your name is in this box. We're going to see who wins. All right, so they're all shaken up. Get it right above her little head there. All right, pick one.
Got one.
You got one? All right, so whoop. Open it up. Come on, anticipation's killing us. All right, who do we got there? James T. Wow, let's see if we can focus here. So, James T. This is you. Go ahead and contact me. I'll put the email in the description. Contact me on that. That way we can figure out how to ship you your nice new Ratchet here. Thank you for playing. Thank you for sharing and commenting. Greatly appreciate it. All this is just, it's a lot of fun. I like doing it. I like hanging out with the kiddos up here too, trying to get them involved as well. So, thank you guys for commenting, sharing. I really do appreciate it. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell. Got a video on that thing coming up. Went and got everything I need, hopefully to get that thing fired up and try to figure out what we need to get it going. I'd like to see that thing move under its own power here real soon. So if you want to see that video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Almost lost it. Let's go ahead and put that there. Again, you guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think. All right? Tell me what you want to see or anything. Just say hi. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate all of you. And I will see you on the next one.